goes into late game macro mode, he's really just able to keep his armies up there, and he just techs really nicely, expands really nicely. So I'm really hoping to see a player just take advantage of that and just hit him hard and hit him early.
Yeah, Chompy spawning in the bottom position, and not even really sure how to say his name, but illvm. I think I'm just going to call him Ill, spawning in the right position. Yeah, I think cheese would be a good idea, actually. Chompy is a very skilled player we've been seeing playing. Yeah, don't tend to see much cheese, though, in King of the Hill, just in general. Ill saying it is an honor to be Chompy's next victim.
Not the attitude you want to go into a game with.
Very true.
Sounds more like something you'd hear from a gladiator.
Yes. We who are
You know
about to
what?
die
Maybe Ill's
salute
pulling some
you.
mind games on Chompy.
Yeah, he is gonna get lucky with the scout and see him right away, though.
Not walling off, though we haven't seen a lot of zergling pressure necessarily from Chompy. Chompy tending to favor the roach play early on.
Well, that pylon is close enough that he can put his gateway and his cyber core there to make a wall with a zealot. So we'll see if he does that. Chompy does get in there and see it.
Well, this is interesting. We have gas going down before gateway for Ill.
Yeah, gateway going down right now, and Chompy trying to harass this probe some.
When I see something like that, that makes me think Ill is going to maybe try and hide some tech somewhere in the map, but so far he doesn't really have any probes moving in. And in fact, I think it might have just been a mistake, because his simulator now is finished, and now he's moving some probes into gas.
Yep, it did lose 10 health on that probe, but did bring it back before it died.
Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah.
Always aggravating when a Zerg gets the gas steal off, just because then they can always cancel it if you start attacking it really quickly.
Chompy going to work on this manor pylon here.
So both players irritating each other right now so far. Yeah, that gas steal really limits the Protoss's tech options, and also you don't generally get a zealot out that quickly as Protoss. A lot of players wait for the cyber core to finish first and get a sentry, but he is attacking it with these probes, stopping him from mining.
I think this is the wrong move from Hill. I mean, he's missing so much mining time on these probes, and not to mention Chompy can just cancel and rebuild the extractor, which basically means all the damage the probes are doing is totally nullified.
Unless he doesn't get a chance to cancel it there, he cancels it again.
No,
Starts
he's doing a very good job of doing that. Definitely a bad move from Ill to keep these guys off mining.
I think Ill is maybe not used to seeing too many of these gas steals, because this is just not the move you want to make when this happens to you.
Yeah.
He even has a zealot out now. He can be using that zealot on the extractor, and finally he puts those probes back into mining.
He is chrono boosting out a second zealot, though. He wants to have that wall off finished and tight from Zerglings. Not actually an issue he has to deal with, though. The expansion just going up now for Chompy, along with a Roach Warren, which just finished.
And the extractor does finish now, so... Oh, look, Ill pulling 4 probes now to attack the extractor.
Not really the best of ideas in this case. It's better to just build your tech elsewhere and then let the extractor sit until you really need it. He is, and we can see he is hiding a Twilight Council, so we may see quick High Templar or Dark Templar.
Yeah.
Either way, he is going to need that gas, so...
Not the safest of builds. When you go for High Templar, you do have that sort of weak zone before you get Psystorm researched where you're very vulnerable. He does have one sentry out to force field the ramp.
My guess here, from what we've seen of Ill's play and how badly he wanted those gas and how early he threw down that first gas, is probably going straight for High Templar. Oh, sorry, not High Templar, Dark Templar.
Yeah.
If Chompy's not expecting it, then it could be devastating.
Yeah, like we said, cheese might be a good option against Chompy here, and unexpected Dark Templars could be effective.
Chompy has no detection at the moment.
Just starting on his lair, but it will be up in time. Dark Shrine does take ages to build. He has not started that or High Templar yet. instead choosing to add on more gateways, so maybe he wants to get very quick.
Very
Don't
quick
even
charge
know.
slots, perhaps.
Very strange build order.
Yeah,
The Twilight Council, and he's not using it yet.
Has not.
And
Oh,
there's the
Dark Shrine. All right. Definitely a bit delayed. Probably due to that gas steal, but this will take 100 in-game seconds to build. And Chompy, you know, if he remembers to make overseers, I think he's going to be just fine.
Really looking forward to seeing how this works out. And Chompy moving and stacking an Overlord. Will this Overlord see the Dark Shrine? It's getting really close.
Oh, warping in a Stalker to take it out. Very good move. I think it might have made it otherwise.
Down.
Yeah,
That's
does not see
really
the Dark
good
Shrine.
Because the Overlord spotted the gateways. And
Yeah.
there are 4 gateways, which is a pretty hefty number of gateways off of one base. So I think Chompy will just be expecting a lot of standard gateway aggression. And
Another Overlord is coming around though, this one might see it.
You can make gateways work off one base, but you have to be pretty well saturated, and it does limit your options to expand at that point.
Yeah, this Overlord is now turning to go in the base, and it will see this Dark Shrine in a little bit, I do think. So he will know to make those Overseers.
It's going to be really close. Oh, the Overlord speed kicking in now, and the Dark Shrine is revealed just as it's finishing. Oh, that is terrible, because now Ill doesn't have the opportunity to cancel it.
Yeah. 2 Dark Templar moving across the map right now. Will they do some damage before this Overseer finishes warping in?
Overseers morph so quickly, and Chompy was so quick about it. And even as a Spore Crawler going up, I don't think these things are going to do too much damage.
Yeah, Overseer getting over there, and Spine Crawler's instantly taking out those 2 Dark Templars, so...
That right there, investing so much in that tech, not getting your expansion, that just puts Ill so far behind in this game.
Yeah.
If Phil had gone for Robo instead of getting those extra 2 gateways, he might have been able to bring a Warp Prism in from behind and warp in some Dark Templar around Chompy's mineral line, but trying to move him in from the front now is just not going to happen.
Yeah, and he's done nothing with the Twilight Council, so he invested, you know, the time and the money of the Twilight Council, the Dark Shrine, and those 2 DTs to kill 1 or 2 workers. Really not worth it. Working in an Archon now with 2 Dark Templar. So trying to make the best of a bad situation here.
Archon, one of the only heavy units that is not armored.
Yep. Chompy now making 16 drones.
That Archon, though, does do bonus damage versus biological, and it is splash damage, so against a large roach force, a number of Archons can be effective, but it does... you do need a lot of them for it to really work.
Yeah, and fun fact tonight, the Archon is the one unit in the game that does not take bonus damage from Ainit, being psionic as its only modifier.
That is true, although, of course, ghosts are the Archon's worst enemy.
Very true. Robotics Bay going down now, so Ill going for the tech switch, really no other... Oh, cancels it though.
Do you have a
Getting a Warp Prism. Yeah. Don't see High Templar very often, so I'm looking forward to seeing this and if he can make it work.
One of the things you can do with High Templar is once you get the Kadarin Amulet upgrade, you can bring a Warp Prism in on someone's mineral line, warp in a couple Templar, and immediately storm the mineral line, and it just does so much damage to those workers. You can take out a dozen workers in a matter of seconds.
Here we go with Chompy moving forward with the Roach Force. He'll seize it, throws down some force fields very quickly to hold them back, and Chompy a little indecisive, poking forward, poking back. Warp Prism is now in place, and it's going to go straight into Chompy's mineral line. Chompy does not have the forces at home to hold this off. It'd be really easy to warp in a High Templar and do some real damage. I think he's going to warp it in. Oh, there it is, getting ready right on top of the ledge. Oh, actually, he's queued up the points to head into Chompy's base. But meanwhile, back at Ill's natural, big battle going down between the Roaches and the Dark Templar. A lot of forces going down, but Chompy's forces, there's just so many of them. He does not have the forces in place to handle these.
Warping in some Dark Templars, though, to fight this off.
These Dark Templars are really going to help. Chompy doesn't have an Overseer here to fight with, but the real question is, can the Dark Templars handle the forces quickly enough before Chompy does critical damage with these Roaches?
Yeah.
We could actually probably focus down in Nexus with this. Meanwhile, back in Chompy's base, we have a couple of units going to work on his Warp Tower, but there is an Overseer in place and plenty of units at home to handle that. Chompy actually burrowing Roaches up at Ill's natural. Guess he's worried about these Dark Templar. He's waiting for an Overseer to get into place. He actually has an Overlord really close, but he's holding it back.
Really surprised he did not bring that Overlord with him on the initial attack. Quite a bit of a blunder on his part.
Now morphing that to an Overseer to handle a Dark Templar.
And illvm really needing an Observer to take care of these roaches.
Great combo, great micro from Chompy, just doing a ring around the Nexus and avoiding Dark Templars, doing lots of damage to the Nexus. Couple more volleys will be able to take it out. Overseer is now in place, so he'll no more worry of Dark Templars.
So he will just warp it into an Archon, excuse me. Psystorm Research starting now. Will it get